You were just saying gets people sent to Allenwood. Just saying could get you buried real quick.
Great scene from the movie Black Mass, based on Boston mob boss Whitey Bulger, the man once known as the most wanted fugitive in the United States. He was reportedly murdered today on his first day at a new West Virginia federal prison. It was new to him. Trace Gallagher, live from our West Coast newsroom with a look back at one of America's most notorious killers. Trace.
Martha, the Department of Justice and Bureau of Prisons still won't confirm exactly how Whitey Bulger died, but as you noted, there are numerous reports saying the former mob boss was killed by fellow inmates with ties to the mafia. TMZ is also reporting that Bulger, who was confined to a wheelchair, was wheeled into a secluded corner of the prison outside the view of surveillance cameras and beaten to death. He was found lying on the ground at 8:20 this morning. Remember, Whitey Bulger was an FBI informant for many years and actually ratted out his gang's biggest rivals. Experts in organized crime say this may have been payback a long time coming. In the mid-1990s, it was a corrupt FBI agent who tipped off Bulger that he was about to be arrested. Bulger then fled and remained on the lam for 16 years, becoming the FBI's most wanted criminal. And despite his face routinely being featured on national news and a film about his life, The Departed, winning Best Picture in 2006, Whitey Bulger was somehow able to hide in plain sight, living with his longtime girlfriend, Catherine Grieg, in a seaside condominium in Santa Monica. After getting a tip in 2011, the FBI raided the condo and found fake IDs, numerous weapons, and $800,000 in cash. Bulger was then convicted on a laundry list of charges, including his part in 11 murders, though some investigators believe he killed dozens, along with racketeering and money laundering charges. Catherine Grieg was also convicted on lesser charges and is scheduled to be released from prison in 2020. Whitey Bulger, who gained the nickname as a kid because of his blonde hair, had been serving his life sentence at a prison in Florida, but he apparently threatened a prison employee and was transferred to the Hazleton prison in West Virginia. He was killed just a few hours after arriving and is the third inmate killed at Hazleton in the past 7 months. The prison union says the facility is severely understaffed. Martha.
Wow. Quite a story. Thank you very much, Trace. Here now, joining me, someone that Whitey Bulger also threatened to kill because of his in-depth reporting over many years about the mob boss. Howie Carr, Boston Herald columnist and radio talk show host. Howie, good to have you with us tonight. I am curious, you wrote several books about him. You have studied him and his family for many years. What was your reaction when you heard what happened in West Virginia today?
Well, I know, Martha, you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead, but, you know, he did threaten to kill me, and I fortunately wasn't murdered, obviously, but he was a monster. He was an arch criminal. He was a bank robber, a cocaine dealer, a serial murderer, a pedophile, an extortionist. He was a horrible, horrible person, and I can't say that I'm unhappy that he's dead tonight. You know, he lived to the age of 89. That's a lot longer than most of his victims lived, obviously.
Do you have any theory
no one's shedding any tears.
Any theory on what happened, who wanted to get him, and who might have been in this West Virginia prison to finish that job?
Well, I talked to Johnny Materano, one of his partners today in the Winter Hill Gang, who I wrote a book with, Hitman, and he said it's perfect karma. You know, the guy ratted all these people into prison. And he was a vicious criminal who killed people in cold blood, and so now he ends up getting killed in cold blood in prison. I don't know who killed him, really. I'm kind of surprised that that there would still be this kind of feeling about him in organized crime. Most of the people that he double crossed are either out and fairly old, and or they're dead, and. This is a perfect ending for him, though.
Maybe it's one of their kids, one of their younger relatives, perhaps, and maybe someday we'll learn. Speaking of relatives, his brother learned the news of what happened today from a local reporter in Boston. Watch this.
Have you heard the reports before? Am I the first one telling you this?
Yes.
I'm sorry to be doing that.
That's all right.
Can you tell me what your reaction is on hearing that?
No.
He's your brother.
I know he is.
I would
I don't have anything to say right now.
What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, Jackie Bulger, his younger brother, paid a heavy price for being his sibling. He lost his state pension. He actually went to prison for a while for lying to a grand jury about visiting a Florida bank where Whitey had a safe deposit box. So I guess, you know, it's like The Godfather, Michael Corleone, said, "This is the life we chose," right? I mean, this is the life the Bulgers chose, and this is what they're paying. I mean, the trial, Martha, was amazing back in 2013. At one point, one of the victims, his girlfriend, Catherine Gregg, who Trace was referring to, she was a divorcee. She had two brothers-in-law, and Whitey murdered both of her brothers-in-law, and then she took up with him and lived with him. And one of the brothers-in-law was a guy named Paulie McGonigal, and after Whitey killed him and buried his body, he disappeared. They couldn't get insurance, nothing. He called up the house where Paulie McGonigal lived, and a 10-year-old, 12-year-old son picks up the phone. This was right at Christmas. And Whitey says to the kid, "Your father won't be home for Christmas." And the kid goes, "Who is this?" And Whitey goes, "Santa Claus."
Unbelievable. Great story, Howie. I guess there's something that Catherine Gregg found appealing about all of that. She spent a lot of time with them in Santa Monica. Oh, my God.
That's what she said.
Howie, thank you very much. Howie Carr, great to see you tonight. Martha.